Hello there. How's it going? My name's Hayden. This is my first video on YouTube. Hopefully the last. Um, Basically, I'm in college right now. I'm a front-end developer, aspiring to, and I guess I'm just going to use this channel as a way to get some practice in of my coding skills, my layout skills, but also just I like teaching people about coding and something I'm passionate about. And yeah, basically, I'm just gonna do challenges specifically from Front End Mentor to begin with. It's a great site. I've got a link down the bottom that you can go and check them out. And this is one of them. I'm just going to start with a really simple one. This is just basic HTML, CSS, no JavaScript in this. I don't even think this is a responsive layout. No, so it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, just getting into it, uh, learning this whole YouTube thing. But yeah, so this is a challenge right here. It's a QR code component, and I've got the code ready here, and let's get into it. So if you're not familiar with Frontend Mentor, basically you download this file, and it gives you all the necessary assets involved in making it, and it's got also some descriptions and what you need to finish this challenge. So first of all, what I like to do is get the HTML ready. So as you can see, this is the HTML here. And then this is where it's going to go right to the right of my screen there. And they include the design and what it's supposed to look like. So I'm going to open that in the side. So as you can see, this is what we're trying to get to. Um, so let's get started with it. My first port of call, I try to just get basically all the containers ready that I need to, or that I think that I'm going to have to use. So in this one, it's basically just one big container um, inside the body. So we're just going to put it into main, and we don't really need to class this one because we can just call main in the CSS, which does not have one yet. So I'm just going to add a CSS to this. And also, I do apologize if you are completely new to this and I'm saying things or doing things that you're not familiar with. I'm definitely learning the best way to teach and what to include in these videos. So I will try my best to cater to everyone. So, but obviously sometimes you do go a bit ahead of yourself. So always, if there's anything you're unsure about, definitely just comment down the bottom, and I can help you out. Or likewise, if there's something that people want to learn more about, I can do a video about that too. So yeah, so basically, so we got main here. What it looks like, so there's this main image, this QR code that you have to sort of scan, and then two blocks of text underneath that. So from my point of view, so it's going to have three sections. It's going to have an image, another text. It looks like a heading, so maybe like a H3 we can put for that one. And then we're going to put a P tag for paragraph. So the heading, we can just put that in. Also, the good thing about Front-End Mentor, they do include everything, like all the text needed down the bottom here. So actually, I'm just going to copy that right here and then just put that up there, as well as this bottom part here. So now if we start that, same thing, but as you can see, this H3 tag, it's got some default stylings inside H3. So it's made it bigger than the P tag, but we're going to go in and change that a bit. But as you can see, it's basically it. I'm actually going to delete this like div down here. They do this like little attribute at the bottom. I just sort of get rid of it just to get a better view. So we don't really have to do any classes for this. So I'm going to keep them blank. For future projects, it's gonna get a lot more in depth, and you're gonna actually need to include those class tags just for styling point of views. But right now we don't have to. So we'll go ahead and start styling. What I like to do is do universal to start with. So this asterisk is a universal styling, and a good practice to get into is just changing everything to 0, 0 for padding and margin. Some browsers have a default, it just like messes it up a bit. And then we change box size into border box. I can get into that for another video. That just talks about how the containers react to each other. But yeah, as we see, so we've got the body here, and there is this like light blue sort of background. And if you go into the style guide right here, they include the colors that are needed. And what do they say? They've got a light gray, grayish blue, and a dark blue. So I think the light gray is for the text, and this grayish blue is for the background. So we're going to add that to the background of the body. Let's just see what that does. Okay, so here's the first lesson. Remember to, I don't have my style guide linked right now, so we're going to have to link that to the HTML. So the style right now is just on its own, a standalone thing, but the HTML, as you can see in the head here, I have not linked it. So basically, we're just going to link that. So that's just a link. And we do a href, basically just referencing where we're getting it from. And usually what happens here, if you just do that, get that in, and then we can just find it here. So style CSS, and then we're just going to say it is a style sheet. And as you can see, we've got something going on. That might not even be the blue that we're after. So I'm going to go back and try this light gray. Just seems a bit off. Alright, I think that might be better. Yeah, that's the blue right there. But as you can see, this div has a white background. So we're going to give the main a background of white. So as you can see now, that'll change this background to white. But we want it to be in the middle, like this. So what we're going to do, this is how I do it. There are many ways that you can do styling and the CSS, HTML, JavaScript. That's why I like coding so much. There's different solutions to every problem. But for this one, I'm just going to do a display of flex. Justify content center, right arm center. And I'm also going to put a padding on right now. So just for the mobile version, we want a padding of about 15 pixels. See how that looks. Okay. And what we also want to do, we want to make this body full screen. So we're going to change the width and the height to full screen. But one thing I've been doing recently, instead of using viewport, view width and view height, I am doing dynamic view width and dynamic view height. And basically what this does is it's more for mobile versions that have that little UI component at the bottom or top of the screen. Because the issue with view width and view height is sometimes it doesn't factor that in. So you come into issues with how it's displayed on the screen. So now that should get that to the bottom there. Great, perfect. All right, so we want to get this image in. So we're going to source it. And it's just that one there. Let's see how that looks. Okay, That's pretty big. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do width of 100% and height auto. And what this does is just contain itself inside that main. We also want to add some padding to this. So I'm going to do 10 pixels for now. See how that looks. Um, we also do we'll do a width of 100% and we'll also do a max width. We'll say, I don't know, we'll do like 400 pixels. Okay, so that's looking a little bit better. It's still it's quite big still, but we can deal with that. We can add a bit more to the padding. We're also going to add this border radius to both the image and the container. So we're gonna change that padding to 15. A little border radius. We'll do about we will also 15. What I'm also gonna do is no, not right. That's fine. That's looking a little bit better. Okay, now we want to do the font family. So in the Saga, they've actually provided what the font family is, and they've got it from Google Font. So what I'm going to do, so this is the font here. So Google Fonts is great for when you want to get fonts that aren't included in your browser. And as you can see here, they want 400 and 700 weighting. So we're going to go here, regular, 400, and then 700, I believe. And what we want is this link here. It's basically including all this information that we just wanted. And this is to put into our HTML. And what that does is, when it's connected to the internet, it'll pull all that data from the internet and use those fonts. So we're going to say is outfit. And font weight, we're going to do 400 for everything. And they've also got font size for the paragraph is 15 pixels. So we're going to put 15 pixels. I usually like to use rem, but we'll just do pixels for this one. Beautiful. So now we've got that right in there. And honestly, the H3 wasn't a bad choice. And I think for the H3, actually for all of it, we're going to do text align center. And for this main, so you see we've got these gaps in between each sort of section of this. So to get that gap, we're going to just do a display of flex, change the flex direction to column. And I'm just going to do a gap, about 20 pixels. And I also want to start this P tag. What I want to do is get this like, I think it's this grayish blue. I'm going to put that in for the color. I'm also going to, this H3 tag, we're going to change that color I think they want this dark blue. And also the font weight for that is in the style guide, it was 700, so we're gonna add that 700. Awesome. So yeah, I think that gap was pretty decent. We've also got a bit more of a padding at the bottom here for this main. So what we're gonna do, I'll put it on the P. We'll put a padding bottom on this P tag. Looks like it doubles, so we'll go 40. We'll go 50 pixels. Also, what I'm going to do is change the. What I'm going to do is get this desktop. Okay, yeah. So the max width definitely needs to be smaller. I'm gonna go 300. See what that looks like. Okay, so even smaller than that. We've actually even got this bottom section seems to be its own sort of container. So what I might do, no, we won't do that. We can add a padding. Actually, we're going to add this as a margin bottom, sorry. But we will add a padding. So the left and right seems to have a slight padding to make it smaller than the image. So for the P and the H, 0 pixels for the top padding. Then we're going to do about 5 pixels for the left and right. Okay. And then honestly, we could probably go smaller with the. I believe these H3 might even. We'll change that font size. Just make it a little bit bigger. We're like 2 RAM. I'll just see. That might be too big. That's probably too big. Yeah. That's. We're gonna go 1.25. See how that looks. Yeah, that's pretty decent actually. And this padding down the bottom, this margin for the, we're gonna change that to 25. Go live with that. And honestly, that's looking pretty decent all up. This wasn't the most, this wasn't the craziest thing. There's actually a border, there's actually a box shadow on this main. So we're gonna add a box shadow. As you can see, there's like this slight shading here. Sometimes box shadow is a bit, I can get a bit tedious to find the right one, but we'll see how this looks. Okay, so it's okay. So this is what I like to do for this sort of thing. So I'm going to inspect element. I'm just going to change it in the actual browser just to get a, it gives you a better idea and a quicker idea of what you can change this to. So we're going to go to main. Here's a box shadow here. Okay. All right. So that's what I'm going to do there. Okay, so I'm gonna do 1 pixel. But I'm also going to change this. This is really not what I want. I'll drop that. See how this looks. Okay, I think it's a bit bigger. I'm going to just absolutely go high with that. We'll see what that looks like. Okay, that's looking a lot better. I actually like that. We might just use that one. So yeah, in case you weren't wondering what box shadow was, the box shadow is just like just behind this card, just makes it look like it's a bit above the surface, gives it a bit of dynamic sort of look. And what all these numbers mean is, so the first number in box shadow is the x axis. So right now it's on 0, so the box shadow isn't moving. So for example, if I put this at 20, it's going to move all the way to the right, as you can see. So we're going to keep that at 0. And I put a 1 pixel for the y-axis. Let's go down slightly. And then 20 pixels is sort of the blur radius. So we're going to add that to 25 and just see what that does. So yeah. Interesting, yeah. So that's basically it. And we could even, what is the style guide? No, we're pretty good right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get this onto my GitHub. So I've already got this set up somewhere. Oh yeah, I've already got all these challenges set up in a document. QR code, and I'll do another video of how this all works and how the whole GitHub process functions. But right now, so that's in right now. I'll take you to my GitHub and show you, and I'll have a link down the bottom to this. So that's live on my GitHub now. So what I'm going to do, copy that, go to Frontend Mentor, challenges, we'll find the one where it was. There it is right there. Now we're just going to basically compare it. Submit solution. And so repository, left site URL there. Repository. Right there. We don't really use too much, honestly, in terms of tools and techniques. We just put a component card made with Flex. I'm going to submit that. And that's basically it. That's how you do the first, yeah, that's the first one I've done for this channel. So yeah, okay, so here's a comparison of the two. Mine is a little bit smaller, could probably do a little bit more height, but overall, it's all there. And yeah, I'm happy with that one. So yeah, let me know. I'm going to do a lot more challenges to pad out this channel. Yeah, and if there's anything else you guys are looking to learn or look at, please just let me know in the comments. Yeah, thank you.